There's been a lot of talk lately about eliminating the Electoral College. Some Democrat lawmakers have even introduced resolutions to make this happen. But let's take a moment to understand what this really means and why it matters. First, eliminating the Electoral College isn't as simple as passing a law. It would require a constitutional amendment. That's not a quick or easy process, and for good reason. The Constitution is designed to be a durable framework, not something that changes on a whim or in response to short-term frustrations. Now, why does the Electoral College exist in the first place? Well, to answer that, we need to understand an important truth. The United States is a republic, not a democracy. That distinction is crucial. Our founders deeply feared pure democracy. James Madison, often called the father of the Constitution, wrote in Federalist number 10 that democracies have ever been spectacles of turbulence and contention, and incompatible with personal security and the rights of property. He warned that in a democracy, a majority united by a common interest or passion cannot be stopped by legal means from sacrificing the rights of the minority. Think about that. The founders understood that democracy often leads to mob rule, what they called tyranny of the majority. That's why they created a government based on checks and balances, ensuring that power would never rest in the hands of a single group. The Electoral College is one of those checks. It ensures that presidential elections account for the voices of all states, not just the largest or most populous ones. Here's another important point. The founders designed the federal government to represent different interests. Consider the three elected positions that they established. Members of the House of Representatives, chosen by the people in each district every 2 years. Senators, originally selected by the state legislatures to represent their states, serve 6 years. And the president, chosen through the Electoral College, serves for 4 years. Each position was designed to serve a different purpose, represent different groups, serve for different terms, and balance the others. This system was not an accident. It was a carefully crafted defense against both tyranny and instability. Let's address some of the criticisms of the Electoral College. Many complaints focus on the winner-take-all system used by most states, where all of the state's electoral votes go to the candidate who wins the populous majority. But here's the key. That system is not part of the Constitution. It's a decision made at the state level. If you don't like it, you can work to change your state's rules. That's far easier and more practical than attempting to abolish the Electoral College entirely. The Electoral College isn't about protecting one political party or favoring certain states. It's about ensuring balance and fairness in our elections. Without it, candidates would focus only on the most populous states or urban centers, ignoring the needs and concerns of rural and less populated areas. The Electoral College forces candidates to build a broad coalition and appeal to voters across the country. Alexander Hamilton defended the Electoral College in Federalist number 68, calling it a system that ensures the sense of the people is expressed while also preventing cabal, intrigue, and corruption. Hamilton argued that this process was one of the Constitution's most important improvements, designed to guard against both domestic manipulation and foreign influence. Think about that in today's context. Eliminating the Electoral College would make our presidential elections more vulnerable to the very dangers Hamilton warned us about. concentrated power, corruption, and neglect of large portions of the nation. Let's also remember the Electoral College isn't just a safeguard, it's a reflection of federalism. Our nation was built on the idea that states are sovereign entities, not mere administrative districts of a central government. The Electoral College reinforces this principle by giving states a role in selecting the president. Without it, the voices of smaller states would be drowned out, reducing their influence to virtually nothing. To those who argue that the Electoral College is outdated or unfair, I would say this: the problem isn't the Electoral College, it's a lack of understanding of why it exists. The founders created it to not to frustrate democracy, but to preserve liberty and balance. They understood human nature and the dangers of unchecked power better than most of us today. As Jefferson said, an elective despotism was not the government we fought for. The Electoral College helps prevent that by ensuring no single group or region dominates the presidency. If we eliminate it, we risk creating the kind of centralized majority rule tyranny that our founders sought to avoid. So before jumping on the bandwagon to abolish the Electoral College, take a moment to think about its purpose and its importance. The Electoral College is not an obstacle to democracy. It's a cornerstone of our republic. It protects the rights of Americans, ensuring that every state, every community, every voice has a role in choosing our nation's leader. Let's honor the wisdom of our founders by preserving the system that they so carefully designed. And if you don't like how your state awards electoral votes, work to change that. Don't throw out the entire Electoral College. It's a vital part of what makes America the great and balanced nation that it is today.